How's everything going? It's Baka 922. It's here. The last two episodes. Well, the last two episodes of Bleach, 1000 Year Blood War, Season 3. This is the first one. Then we're going to do the next one. But first I want to show you this neat... Guys, gotta check that out. It's the anime ape. Look at that shit. Look at that. Just wanted to show this off. Look at that. Awesome. And you got the back. Figured I'd show it off. Anyway, let's get into this episode. So, let's start this proper. So, Visible Answer, which is episode 13. We're done with Basby. Basby's pretty much dead. Okay, so we're past that. And he was killed by Hoshwald, and basically that has transpired. This episode is a menagerie. Now, the animation in this episode was criminal. Like, smooth freaking criminal. Because it just tore the roof off the freaking building of this episode. Especially Yorichi. Like, damn! Holy yo, what the hell? Now, the real focus of the episode is, confidentially, Hoshwald and Uliu. Now, it should be noted, the understanding of what's going on with Hoshwald. So, I think I mentioned this before. Every time Yuha is asleep, Hoshwald has his powers. What that means is, when Yuha's asleep, he doesn't have the Almighty anymore. Hoshwald does. Now, surprisingly enough, we have... I'm sorry, I gotta show it off. Anyway, we have him confronting Uliu. And Uliu's like going out on the deep end here, and he's just coming out and saying it. Saying, oh, are you saying I'm going to betray? Turn traitor. And he's like, and it's funny how Oswald looks at him and he says, I didn't say anything yet. And you could look at it in his Oswald's eyes. He's got the three-eye pupil thing, and it's like glowing blue, and that's the real meat of this episode. That's the focus of this episode. The other things that are happening, we have two confrontations. Miracle, which... and we have JoJo-looking motherfricker. The guy that looks like JoJo character, whose name I keep forgetting. I really apologize for that. We also get an interesting closing scene, end credit scene, which I don't believe was in the manga. So that is another thing to really think about. But I just want to look up that guy's name. I keep forgetting his name. The frick is his name? His name's not here. I'm gonna have a problem. Askin. Naklevar. I'm gonna call him Askin. So anyway, Askin, who we now realize, he basically has the same kind of ability as most people in every kind of anime you've seen. You know, the ability where if you attack me, ooh, look at that. If you attack me, the next time you attack me, I'm immune to it. That's basically his ability. But he can also give you reishi poisoning, which he does this to Ichigo, Chad, and Orihime. Then Yoriichi shows up and wrecks his shit for a good amount. And I think I should just focus on the specific fights of what transpires. So that happens with that fight with Askin. And Askin, Yoriichi just pulls the shit off the roof with her attack and just not completely annihilates him, but just to a point where Ichigo, Chad, and Orihime can leave and actually goes after Yuha. After that occurs, he comes back and Yoriichi's brother shows up. Like, dude, read the room! But he shows up, he gives him a wallop to ask him. I was like, holy shit. But once again, if you don't kill, you have to kill this guy on the first go around. Because if you don't, he gets back up, and if you attack him again, game over. He's immune to it. So he knocks out Yoriichi's brother with a few arrows, and he tells Yoriichi how, she messed up there. That was the conclusion of their fight. The altercation between Uryu and Haschwald is shown in the beginning of the episode, and as I said before, what he states to him and so on and so forth. And then from there, we have that. It continues later on, but not in the same tune, because it's more somebody else is there. Now, Miracle, this guy is ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. Because basically his ability is this. Whenever he gets mortally wounded to the point of death, he uses it as a power-up. And that's what basically happens. It's Renji, then it's Byakuya. Byakuya goes crazy shit, spewing Sakura on him to the point of mere death. And it's kind of the same ability as Askin, but once he gets this power up, it becomes huge, like the size of Kong, or I don't know how big it is. It's massive. All attacks against him is moot. Like, nothing hurts him. Well, it's like a few of the Hados that they do with Momo and Shinji. But Byakuya does Sakura, and it does nothing to him. Now, that's what basically happens in that fight. Mortally wound him. He comes big. He wrecks their shit. We go from there. Now, I can't really say what happens because, like I said, this fight with this guy goes for a while. I know there are 3 people involved in that fight, but I'm not going to say it because that's spoiler territory. So that's the end of the fight. And then we go back to Uryu and Haschwald, where Haschwald's saying how he's got to prove that he's not a traitor. And he's fighting him, and out of nowhere, Uryu's standing in front of Ichigo. And then he says Ishida, and Uryu says Kurosaki. And that's where the episode ends. However, we do get an extra scene. Isshin and Rukin. Rukin, I believe, is in front of Misaki's grave. Gotta go swag, man. In front of Musaki's grave. In front of Musaki's grave or his wife's grave. I'm not really sure. And then Ishin looks at him and behind him and he says, You're going too, right? And that's what the episode ends. By my knowledge, I do not remember them going there. Swear to God. So that's going to be an extra scene, I think, to an extent. But that's the end of the episode. Overall, the animation is bonkers. Just freaking bonkers. I'm like, God damn it. Perry, what are you doing to us, man? And then we have everything else that happened. It's little snippets here and there. You know, I can understand these are the last 2 episodes. So they're trying to get everything in before we go into part 4. But logistically speaking, I thought this was great overall. Like I said, 10 out of 10 for the animation. Pacing, I wouldn't say it was fast. I would say is that they were trying to get as much of each fight in before we get the conclusion of this. So we got a little bit of Yoriichi with Askin. We got a lot of majority of here and there with Gerald, the Miracle. So now we're now going to get the thing with Urliu and Haschwald and Ichigo showing up in the next episode. But from my understanding, I'm going to give this, I cannot lie, I have to give this a 10 out of 10. I know it's a big bar, but the animation was, it was freaking phenomenal in this episode. And I know that's not the cusp, and it's not the majority of what rating-wise to do it by, but because the animation was so great, and the fights really hit home, yeah, definitely up there. I think the next episode's going to be not that high, but still good. So yeah, stick tuned, everybody, for the next episode. This will be the final episode, episode 14, called Last Words. I think this is going to be majority earlier with Haschwald and Ichigo there. I believe so. And then, my guess, the summer. Probably going to be July. Which is we're also going to now have in July. Bleach and Dead again. Oh well. Get that swag. Look at that. Look at that swag. I'll see you guys later.